everybody, welcome back to my channel, Speed Addicts Garage. Today I want to get the battery installed. So normally with the DSMs, the battery sits in this location. There's a tray here, whatever the case. Some people lower the tray down, put a smaller size battery in it. I don't want to do that. I want the opportunity to have a bigger battery, and plus I don't like batteries in the engine compartment. So with that being said, we are installing the battery in the trunk, and let me show you some of the components that we have to get that done. One of the first items is this here. It's called a red battery pass-through bulkhead. What that means is basically you drill a big hole, you can put it on something that's flat. So like if you want to run it through the firewall, you can do so. But it's got this nut that tightens it up, and then you got a positive point on the top, then you got a positive point right here on the bottom. See it? The reason we need that is because normally with the battery being here, you would have the positive terminal. So we had to cut that terminal off, or in this case, unbolt the terminal. And then now what we gotta do is we gotta run a positive power cable from here to the trunk. Your boy don't throw nothing away. I don't have a clue where I got this from, but what we're gonna be using to transfer this wire to the back, or what we're gonna be using for our power wire, is some of this 2 gauge here. I think this is gonna be good enough to get the job done. It is black, so I'm not a fan of black, but I think what we're gonna do, just to not confuse it, we're gonna put probably some red heat shrink on the end of it. Let's go ahead and put a terminal crimp on it, and let's go ahead and start plumbing it to the trunk. That little piece ain't gonna work. In that big bundle, I had some 1/0. So this is what we're using, 1/0. Let me show you the other items that we also have. I'm running 1/0, 2/0 cabling. So what I have here is 2 brass ends. All these items are from Napa. That's the part number there. I got a piece of 3/4 inch red tubing so that I can know which wire is positive. Of course, we got to use a battery box. So let me show that to you real quick. Wow! Moroso box 74051. I want to say it was right around 80 bucks. It's a little on the high side. I'm still determining whether or not I'm gonna get rid of it, but it came with this little styrofoam type of seal. I believe it goes around the lid to keep it sealed tight. Comes with a hose that I think you have to drill somewhere in the box to ventilate it. Come with a tie down and all the appropriate hardware. And then it's also got a bunch of nuts and bolts and stuff. Hey, let me show you one more thing. And since we're putting the battery in the back, we got to find a good flat spot. But what I like to do on all these early 90s cars is see how they got this mess here? This little thin cardboard junk. That junk ain't holding no battery box, let alone a daggone battery. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, transfer this template to something a little bit more sturdy. Yeah, we're gonna use this right here to stabilize our battery box in the trunk. We got right here one of the most value and precious materials on the face of the planet right now. Everybody know how expensive wood is. Well, this wasn't that bad. This was actually like 24 bucks, $22. I already took my measurements. This is basically 4x4. So let me show you what we're gonna do as far as getting the template set up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to set this thing up just like I want it. And then I'm gonna try to take measurements using like central locations, like maybe hole to hole, vice versa. This finna make you crack up. All right, fam, we got the wood laid in place, got our center section cut out for where the spare tire used to be, and now I'm ready to install the battery box. This is the location I'm gonna pick. I got a few things I'm taking in consideration. I'm taking in the fact that I want to be able to easily pull the battery in and out, and then for 2, we got 6 like mountain locations here that I'm gonna need to get to with a screwdriver. Now the next thing we need to do is drill our holes for these studs. I am going to use this as a reference, drill my holes, drill it all the way through the wood, and then what we'll do from there is we'll take one end of the studs, take the washer, put it put the washer on the top part, and then this is just gonna sit in the back, and then as we tighten it, it'll basically compress the tie down to the base of the wood. All right, drill my holes through the wood, and this is what I was talking about. Come with a lock nut and the washer. That's gonna be the base. And all I'm gonna do is snake this through the bottom, and between the bottom of the wood and the bottom of the trunk, I mean, this thing ain't gonna sink down so far that I can't grab it. Dang, this junk is gross. But I got the cable ran right here, and I'm gonna run it across this frame rail. I'm contemplating using rib nuts, but I'm definitely gonna use P-clamps. Let's run this back to the back, and then I will show you where we're gonna come through the bottom of the gas tank, or come through the bottom of the trunk. But the main thing I came under here to show you is there's a little port right there where it's like a rubber grommet where you can pull it out, I guess, if you want to rinse out the back of the car. I took that port, put a hole in it with a drill bit, used the X-Acto knife to finish it up, and that's where I got this 1/0 cabling going up into the rear section of the DSM. And we got to address all this rust too when it's time to do the diff bushings. This junk will need a lot of cleaning. And I'm also gonna reinforce this mustache bar, I believe, too, because this junk is like it's made out of 1/4-inch steel, and I don't trust it. Here's the battery box. I got my cabling ran through, and then I got my ground right here where the spare tire used to be. I cut a little groove or a little section out right here, this wood, and I did the same thing on that back side to make it like a clean, nice little setup. And per instructions, the last little bit that we need to do is we need to put all these studs in. So according to the picture, it's a stud, then it's the top cover, then it's this neoprene washer, and then of course it goes down into the receptacle. Check out the finished product. Don't look too terrible. I haven't put that seal in, but I did push these in, and that's what it looked like. So the last thing we need to do is we need to put like probably 2 holes in the carpet for the stud, and I may or may not want to put some kind of polyurethane or something over this wood to kind of make it not look like wood. Side note, I did not use these. I ended up taking them out. This is the little caps, or whatever you want to call it, the little cushion deals, where both of the positive and negative cables went through the other side of the box. I couldn't use it because the brass lug ends were a little too big. I think we're gonna be okay, but that's gonna conclude this episode. Next episode, I wanna work on the exhaust and the turbo portion of things. Click the like button, see you later.